Hey you guys, welcome back to my kitchen, Papa with Mama Sue. Today I'm doing a special for Christmas. It is my Applejack Christmas cake, okay you guys? So I know it sounds weird, but don't knock it till you try it, okay? So this recipe, which is being used from box cake, and it's how to elevate your box cake. Okay, so I'm using a white box cake mix and a lemon box cake mix. It's complementary to the Apple Jacks. Okay, so I have the lime green icing frosting that will go on top. Then I'm going to mix with some coconut flavoring, my apple pie filling, which is going to go in the middle. I'm going to show you guys all of that. And of course, the star of the show is the Apple Jacks. It matches my hat, don't it? How's that? Okay, so let's get to it. Oh, of course, my eggs. I gotta put them on the video. Okay, so let's get to it. Let me just move this behind me. I'm gonna use my spring cake pan to do my cake in. Move my toothpicks out the way. I gotta bring the hefty old heavy duty in the picture. My cake mixer. Okay. Then I got my water bottle on the deck because I get thirsty. Alright, so let's open up your cake mix, your box. I always like to kind of go through my bag to make sure there's no clumps or lumps in it. Something quick and easy. So we're doing the white cake mix now. Okay, so this is the cake mix that I'm going to add my coconut flavor in. Okay, so we're going to add 3 eggs. 1, 2. Make sure no shells drop in your cake mix. And 3. Okay. Made a little mess with my Ziploc bag. I need that to crush my Apple Jacks. So we are going to enter in 1 cup of water. We're not going to pour it all in at one time. Let me just, I'm working with a small space. Just gonna put this over here. Let me get my oil, which I'm gonna add 1/3 of the oil. If I can get a grip. 1/3 of the oil. I like to add my oil first. Uh-oh, I'm making a mess, you guys. Add my oil. Put on my top, slide that to the side. Then I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of my coconut extract. Not a That's not 1/4. And don't be too heavy with your extract. Like I said before in my previous video, because extract can be very overpowering and you don't want it to be that overpowering. And I'm using coconut flavor. I want it to blend and mix in together. So before I begin the mixing, I will add in a little bit of the water just to get it started. Is my plug in? There it is. Gotta make sure my plug in there. So I'm starting this bed. Let me see. I'm starting it off at 2. 2 or maybe 3. Yeah. And I want it to begin to turn. This is one of the ones that start turning by itself. There you go. I had to give it a little nudge before it started to turn. You know how things start to act up when you want it to do right? That's just like your body hurting, and as soon as you go to the doctor, it's like, oh, it's not hurting anymore. Okay, now it's going. Now it's going. You want to get the first mix in just right. You don't want to over mix it because you don't want it to be stiff. You want your cake to be nice and moist and soft, you know? You don't want it to be so stiff. So now that it's going, I can add in the rest of my water, just a little bit at a time. Give it some time to actually spin and mix in. And then halfway through it, I'm going to use my spatula to kind of, you know, help it along the way, scrape the bottom, make sure all of the cake mix is mixed in. Let me take a water break while I'm waiting. Oh, that water's so cold. Okay, it's doing what it's doing. Add the rest of the water in. But I need another 1/4 of my water for this cake mixture. You can use tap water too. I'm just using my bottled water. Make sure it's all mixed in. Actually, it did. Get it all mixed in from the bottom. Okay, now that it's mixed in, I'm going to use this box here, okay? Now, continue to mix while I add in this extra 1/4 cup of water. We get our pan ready after the cake mix is done, and we pour it into the pan. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees, okay? Already have your oven preheated while you're mixing up the cake mix, so that it just be an easy transition. Just slip it in the oven, boom, on to your next batter. All right. Okay, you guys, so now that the cake mix is finally finished, we're going to add just a little bit of flour into our pre-oiled pan. Now, what you're going to do, you oil your pan with about, give or take about a teaspoon of oil. And just circle it around your pan. Make sure it's nice and coated, the sides, the bottom, and everything. Now, like I said, what I'm using right now is one of these cheesecake spring pans. And I'm going to take like a pinch of flour, sprinkle it around, maybe a pinch and a half. And what I want to do is take my pan. Now, it's going to get a little messy. That's okay. That's, you know, that's part of baking. And you just kind of tap the pan. I wish I can show you guys a little bit better. Just tap the pan around like so. Let you guys see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm tapping that pan around. I want to make sure that All my sides are covered with the flour. And if you think that's not enough flour, then add just a little more, just another little pinch. You don't want it to be too floury. Just, you know, like how Grandma showed you how to do it, you know, if you remember. And just pat it around. Pat it around. And I've always learned the cake mix out. Let it drip a little bit. If I can take my little knobs off here. Sink prepared for it to wash. Oh, this is heavy. Now you see the consistency of the cake, and I've added my flavoring to it. So if you want to achieve the same flavor of the cake that I'm making, and you want a copycat, hey, do exactly what I did, and you'll achieve the same taste. We got all of that scraped into the pan. Now it's ready to go in the oven. Alright, you guys, so now we're ready to do the second cake, box cake. Okay, so once again, I have my little ones with me. We're gonna feel for any lumps and bumps before we open up the package of cake. Well, we don't want it bumpy. Open the package up. Put it in the bowl. Now this is the lemon flavored cake mix. Okay. So again, we need, spread that out like that. I like to make a well in my cake mix so that I make sure everything gets mixed in. So we need 3 eggs. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now we're going to add in our half a cup of oil. And in this batter, I'm not going to add the coconut flavoring. Just going to let it be lemon. And that will be all. And I'll show you my next step. So add just a little bit of water in. Start it off at 2. Turn that back on. Consistency should look like. Of course, you don't want it thick. You don't want it too loose either. So you guys, here comes the fun part. Crushing the Apple Jacks. So I'm going to use my big Ziploc bag, and I'm going to pour the cereal into my Ziploc bag. You know, when you're a mom, you come up with all types of creative stuff. Household full of people who love to eat sweets. You have to be creative, especially around the festive holidays. Jacks. You're going to get it as flat as you can get it. And I'm not using the pointy end, I'm using the flat surface end. Which I'm using half and half, and I'll show you. I'll put out the rest of the way by putting it in my food processor. And let it crumble up the rest of the way. Okay, Diane is my helper today. And my purpose of doing this is because I'm going to make a crust with the Apple Jacks, right? We're going to mix it with some butter. And we're going to put it, line it in this pan. And that's going to be that crust that's going to be on the bottom of it. So I'm going to do it half and half. I'm going to do half on the bottom. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with the rest of it. I've melted some butter. And here's my crumbs for my crust. I melted a whole stick of butter. Now I'm gonna mix it in so it gets kind of crumbly like. Okay, you guys, so I poured in my mixture on the bottom, and you're gonna press it out nice and evenly. And then you can kind of push it up as much as you can on the sides. Let me try to stop and let you see. Without any gap. Look. Try to give you a little closer. So you're going to put it in the oven for a good about 10 minutes or so. It's done. Then you're going to pour the cake mix on top of that and bake it the rest of the way. You guys, so like I said, you put the crust in for about 10 minutes in the oven. And this is how it should look. It should have a slight firmness to it. This is, I think y'all can see it. Slight firmness on the bottom. Now we're going to enter our cake mix, our cake batter. Straight the bottom. Stir just a tad bit just to make sure everything is well put together. Move that over. All this bowl. Back into the oven. Okay, you guys, so you're going to leave that in the oven for a good 25 minutes. And the way, rule of thumb, the way to tell if your cake is done, you can take the longest toothpick that you have, or you can use a fork if you don't have a toothpick, and stick it in the center of the cake mix, in the cake, to make sure that it is done. When you pull it out, your toothpick should be clean and free of any cake batter, mix, anything, okay? Except for a little crumbs here and there. But that's how you can tell if your cake is done. So, if it's not done, then you know you need an extra couple of minutes for it to be done. But, okay, you guys, so I wanted you to see how it looks on the bottom, the crust, as I brought it out of the oven, let it cool. This is how the crust looked that we previously put in the oven for 10 minutes, and then we added the cake batter on top and let it cook the rest of the way, which is always tend to press it down just a little bit. Now for the filling that I'm going to add into the middle, which is this Comstock pie filling, which is the apple filling. And you can add, it's optional, you can add in a little cinnamon and a pinch of sugar, or 2 pinches of sugar, like I did, to bring out that pie filling flavor, which we all know that Applejacks have cinnamon in it. That's what makes it Applejack. With my cake that I'm doing, I turned it over, got it out the spring pan, and I'm just gently slicing off the part that has the flour on it and the oil, only because I want to put my filling in the middle. And I don't want all this flour cake doughy, you know. I don't want all that. I want the flavor and the pie filling to soak right into the cake, into the middle. So this is the bottom of the white cake, which is going on top with the coconut flavoring. And this is the yellow cake, which is the bottom part of the cake. So now I'm going to add my filling. I'm going to slice off this portion of the cake at the top. And I'm barely slicing the top, just a little bit. I know everybody has their own method of how they make their cake, and this is my method of making my layered cake. I'm just slightly taking off the top. Okay, now for the filling. And like I said, it's optional to add cinnamon and 2 pinches of sugar but I want it to taste really, really good. I want it to pop. So I'm gonna start off with just that bit. And just spread that on like so. Not too much. I'm not trying to get it to the edges or anything because it's gonna ooze once you put the top part of the cake on. For the top layer, and I'm on your icing has been sitting out room temperature, and I give it a quick little stir. That makes it easier too. And be generous with the icing. And just add that and give. All right, you guys. So this is the end result of my homemade Applejack cake. Okay, this is my creation. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and love this recipe. Try it for yourself. And we're gonna top it off with some thinly sliced apples. Now I've got my gala apples, and I sliced them and soaked them in some water so they won't brown or anything like that. And you can eat them right off the top of your cake before you start slicing your cake. In this case, it smells so delicious. And voila! Clean up my little mess that I just made. The crumbles from off this cake. Ooh, messy cake, but so delicious, you guys. You have to be creative when it comes to children. So, if you want to bring the camera in a little bit, I have my sister help me so they can see the top of this pretty decoration that I made. Yes, I can't tilt it over. Let's see if I can. There you go. This is my Applejack cake. If you like my recipe, give it a great big thumbs up. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Share with anyone and everyone that you know. And I wish you guys a happy, happy holiday. So, from my family to yours, peace out. Applejack cake. Look at that crust. Taste the crust. The Applejack crust. Good. And she loves sweets. That's it, folks. It's a winner. It's a winner. Hey you guys, this public announcement is brought to you by Papa with Mama Sue. Today I want to share with you guys this wonderful water bottle that is a great gift to your loved ones, anyone who loves to do sports, anyone who just loves to be an avid water drinker like I am, or someone simply just want a new water bottle. This water bottle is awesome. It keeps your water really cold, and I really enjoy it because it makes me want to drink water even the more. And I am so amazed that it's very insulated. The bottle doesn't sweat at all when you have something nice and cold inside. It's a great gift. They come in many colors, like this one that I picked because my little girl loves pink. So it's the flamingo pink, and they have the blue, the black, the white, the polar white, and they have like an ice blue color too. So it's really good, a really good gift, and it's the holidays, so why not? So on that note, let me take a sip. Because I am so thirsty. That's good. That's some good water. It also comes with a sports top too. But I love drinking it like this because it's so handy for me to just pick it up and drink out of it. But anyway, you can get the sports top as well. But like I said, I will leave the link down in the description box. So I want you guys to check it out. I want you guys to purchase it. Don't be selfish with it either. When you find out that it's a real great bottle, a water bottle, share it with your loved ones, because Mama Sue said so.